Welcome to the Completely Yoked Podcast with Little Bit Bougie and Mr. Radio 100. Real talk, real life. Hey, good morning and good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. We are Completely Yoked. My name is Mr. Radio 100, and of course you see my lovely co-host, that is Little Bit Bougie. We are talking today, real talk, real life. This is what we're about. This is what our podcast is about. But we have an amazing artist here that we really have to shine on. And his name is JLake, coming out of Memphis, Tennessee, Southern soul, R&B, real soul music, the good stuff, the stuff that we were brought up on. But JLake, welcome to the Completely Yoked Podcast. We definitely appreciate you being here. A little bit bougie, glad to have you in the house with us as well.
Man, I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
Not a problem at all. Well, let's go ahead and dive right into it. A little bit, what we got, where we going with it?
Well, I'm just fanning right now. Like, I'm so overly excited. I was like, so I'm gonna calm myself down. All right. But yes, it is like, I love your music. I really do. And when I listen to it, it's like a fusion for me. Like, it's not just blues. It's not just, it's like a crock pot. It's got church in it. It's got the blues. It's R&B. Like, I love it. But what do you classify your music as?
Well, when people ask me what genre of music I'm in and everything, I just say soul music because I agree with what you said. It's like gumbo. It got some gospel in it. It got some R&B in it. It has some Southern soul blues in it. So I just simplify it by just saying soul artist because, some of my music is more R&B-ish than Southern soul versus R&B. So I do all of it. I try to pull all of it into my music. So I'm a soul artist. Definitely a soul artist.
That makes sense because when I first heard it, I was so kind of discombobulated because I was like, wait a minute. It's a little church run over with a little bop to it. I was like,
yeah.
Because you got some bangers out there. I love Let It Be Known. Because I say that all the time. A closed mouth on your head.
Oh yeah, let it be said. Let it be said. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I love it.
Yep.
When I heard that, I was like, oh, that's so me. But then, good time. You have a good time with your music.
You've been doing your research because good time. I haven't really been pushing it a whole lot as I should. So if you know about this song, then yeah, you've been checking it out.
Dude, I've been biting that song, right?
Yeah.
That's my background music because it's like it puts you in it's fun, it's light, it's a good summer song. Like it's a nice little, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm now, so the 2-step is all I got. So I can work it out with that.
Yeah, well, we together because that's all I got is a 2-step.
Dancing to these lyrics, I don't get it. They need a hit. Right. No, I got 2 steps.
Well, they got people that dance and they got people that play music. I play music. How about that?
I got you.
That's how we gonna get down.
Jay. Is JLake, is that your real government name or is that your stage name?
JLake is my stage name. I used to go by the artist name JL. That was my initials for my legal name is JLake. So I was going by JL my entire music career. And when I tapped into Southern Soul, I realized that there was other JLs out there. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, and then it was kind of real common. Like a lot of people was looking for my music and they couldn't find me. They couldn't find my music because it's like in the world, there's a ton of JLs that's doing music. So I was like, look, I got to go with something else. So I hate it too because I built my whole music career off the name JL. But I say 3 years ago, I went to, merged over to JLake. And I didn't find any JLakes out there, so it's been working for me. So yeah.
Well, it does work because I did find some JLs and I was a little like.
Right.
But I said, my past lives allowed me to learn how.
Right.
I was just like, wait. So, okay. but it's a catchy name. It's a name you don't forget. It's
Right,
rememberable.
absolutely,
So
absolutely,
kudos on
absolutely.
that. So being that you were where we from, you're from the good old real South.
Right.
Who said
Yep.
what to sing? Who gave you that microphone?
My mom gave me the microphone. Honestly, man, I used to beat on buckets and stuff at my grandparents' house. You know, in the summertime, they would get me some limbs off of the trees and turn one of those buckets over, and that's how I started beating on the drums. And then I used to
Yep.
go to church all the time, from church, and I used to go and sit, with the musicians, like sit under the drummer just to learn, see what he doing, and next thing you know, I got on the drum. So that's what I was doing before I started singing, was drums in church. And then my mom decided that she needed me to start singing in her group. One more had a quartet group, gospel. So she needed me to start singing. And next thing you know, I was playing drums and singing in that group. And then I started playing drums at my local church back in Bolivar, Tennessee. I was a church musician there. So my mom, I didn't know I could sing. I didn't know anything. My whole family sing, but my mom, kind of like, hey boy, I need you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how the singing started. Yeah, very young age.
Boy, it has to be a West Tennessee thing because
Oh yeah.
playing an instrument, saying it's
Right.
wonderful.
Right.
My dad and his brothers are in gospel quartet group, so I definitely
Yeah, you already
know.
know.
I'm very familiar.
Mhm.
Right.
We probably have probably ran in the same gospel circles
I'm
because
sure. I'm sure.
everybody A, B, C, E, F, G selections.
Right.
Very familiar.
Right.
And
Right.
so you come from a musical family, so it's just something that runs in your blood. And how long have you
Absolutely.
been in the music game? Because you sound like you got some pipes in this.
Well, I've been in the game a long time because, see, when I was in gospel at a young age, my mom, I know y'all may be familiar with like the Gospel Four, Lee Williams and the QCs, and Lisa Knowles and the Brown Singers. Like my mom was on programs with them when I was young. Like, her and Lee Williams, they was really good friends when I was like a kid. So they was on shows and stuff together. So I had knew those guys when I was a kid, and then I joined a group out of Memphis by the name of Perfection, and we were signed to the Barcades. I know you're familiar with the Barcades.
Whoa.
Yeah, yeah. So we were
Yeah.
signed to the Barcades. So when we signed to the Barcades, we started being on shows with like Ty Tribbett, Fred Hammond, Mary, all of
Wow.
those people. So I've done a lot on both sides. So and then at the same time, I was becoming an artist myself. So I released my first song at the age of 15. And just putting music out when I was in school. And around 2007, I released a song called Paint a Picture. They played on the radio.
What would you say, like, what do you remember about your first, like, solo, by yourself, it is just you, your performance? Like, how did you feel? Where were you at? What song did you sing?
Well, I would say I was a little nervous because I always been a background guy, being in these groups and stuff like that. I was a musician playing drums, so I'm behind everybody. So I was never a front man but and like I said, in school, I did talent shows. I would win first and second places going out to talent shows and stuff like this. So that's really where it kind of started, being out in front. And then I started around Jackson, Tennessee. I started getting like shows, like people were having like elegant events and stuff like that, and they would invite me to come perform. So I had a song called Paint a Picture that was playing on the radio. So it became really familiar with the people in the region. They knew that song. So I was getting booked off of that song and being able to start hitting bigger stages with that song. So I was definitely nervous. Sometimes it depends on the show. I get nervous now sometimes, But I mean, I'm good for the most part. Once I finally get out there and get moving, I'm okay, But sometimes you have a little few bugs, going out there, especially when it's 3,000 and 4,000 people out there waiting, waiting for you to perform. So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Well, that's so dope. Like, I'll probably be like 1 second and have to go throw up and come back.
Yeah. But I mean, like I said, once you get out there, when you get that first note out, those bugs, kind of go away, especially when the people, it's always great when the people are actually getting with you, when they participating and showing you love while you're performing. It makes a major difference. It makes a big difference.
How does it feel to hear all those screams and all those like singing your song with you?
It feels amazing because that's showing you that the work you're putting in is not in vain. People are really paying attention to what you got going on. You know what I'm saying? So to get places, like I went out to Virginia and they knew my music. So to be from a small city in Tennessee, go all the way out to Virginia, and people know your music, it's just an amazing feeling. Because
the energy that you get from the crowd just has to be amazing. I mean, I've been on stage just enough just to know when when you're pushing yourself and you're giving your all,
right,
and then you receive it back from the crowd. It takes a lot of energy to really go out there and give a good performance, and then just to make sure that you receive everything back. And then when you receive it back, you're just like, oh my God, it's like something like never before. And see, I don't really sing. The only thing I do is saxophone. And when you see people just swaying in the crowd and then they're just really appreciative of the music, it's an amazing feeling. So I mean, I get where you're coming from there.
Absolutely.
And it's amazing to do that. As far as your stage performance, what would you say as far as when you're on stage, when you first get started, and then when you feel that energy building up? Who do you think you kind of perform like? Do you perform more like, do you feel yourself more as like a Marvin Gaye, Teddy Pendergrass type of thing? Or is there a particular singer that you kind of emulate yourself behind?
Well, they always say I'm smooth, and I guess they say that because I'm kind of laid back. I like, I don't really jump and run and, and humping the stage and stuff like that. I'm just kind of like a crooner, you know what I'm saying? As they call it, like a crooner, just kind of smooth, you know what I'm saying? So I would say, like a Teddy, Pendergrass, a Luther, the way they kind of just, little two step, a little way, a little Gerald or something,
Right.
Yeah. I'm a very laid back, but I try to be effective on stage. But I'm still kind of laid back. I go out there and sing. I like to, touch hands, and I want people to feel my music and understand what's going on. Now, a lot of people are entertainers only. They not delivering on the second part. They just entertainers. But I want people to actually listen to me and be like, oh, okay, he got some good vocals, and we love his music.
They be feeling your music. Because I was in Mississippi. Baby, when they said JLake, I'd never seen them. Baby, when you better move out the way. That's what they should have been playing. Because they was booking the stage.
Yeah, it was nice. It was nice. Yeah. But like sometimes you gotta leave home, to get that kind of love, unfortunately. When people know you, they really don't want to catch up to what's really going on. Like, you're not the guy that they knew years ago, So sometimes you got to go out in different cities to get the love that you really deserve, So I like to say,
that just brings home that saying, like, sometimes you can't take everybody with you.
Absolutely.
And that's sad, but it's true. It's right. You're that dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's an incline. It hasn't been like a boop, and then you rebrand and try to come back. You've been that guy. Mm-hmm. So it is disheartening when you like have to go out of state to get what, you know what I'm saying, to get that feeling that you would assume or think would come from hometown.
Right, absolutely.
But that music judge people.
It falls the same way, though. It falls the same way, just like in music, that it does with social media. I mean, I get more love from strangers than I get from home.
Yeah.
So, you'll be surprised. I mean, even in dealing with music, there were some people that I was trying to hook up with when I was back home in Mariana, and, they just saw me as who I was. They didn't see me as, something else. Right. But then I come here to Louisiana. I've gone to Texas. I've gone to other places, and people actually listen to my advice when it comes to engineering, when it comes to chord structure when it comes to all of that stuff, and they really pay attention. So I'm just like, okay, so it's not where it's where you're at, not where you're from necessarily. And I hate that, especially good artists like you actually have to go through that and not receive the hometown love first and really get the hometown love and then spread out, which is the way it's supposed to work. But you stuck to it, and it's working out for you now. So kudos to you.
Appreciate that.
That's very impressive. And like I said, it opened, like, I was watching an interview with Snoop Dogg, and he was listening to you, and he was listening to other artists that are in that same genre as soul music that you have. And I was sitting back like, these people, these people are from Tennessee. We cousins.
Right.
It's reaching a lot of people.
Think about Snoop Dogg's roots, though. Snoop Dogg from the SIP.
Yeah.
His grandma and his people from Mississippi. So that's what he know. That's what he was brought up on. Even though he was out there in Cali, he had to bring his butt to Mississippi to deal with grandma and them, and that's what they was getting down with. So
he's been hanging out with King George and
Mm-hmm.
and that's been kind of opening up some doors as well for him, for them to check out other things that's going on in Southern Soul and over in our genre of music, what's going on. So so that's been a plus too. Absolutely.
You're definitely a pioneer of this music, because and the reason why I say that, I know it's just now being created, but it's not only reaching people of my age. It's like my daughter. She was like, "Oh yeah, mom!" Like and I'm like, she's 20. But good music is good music, and in my family, as you music is everything. So you listen to everything when you are about the lyrics and about how it makes you feel. Right. So for her to say that, it's like, almost was like, that ain't true. Y'all a little boppity bop rap, that type word. Right. Y'all don't know real good, like, it hits your soul different. It hit different. And she's like, oh no, have you heard that song? I was like, then I'm like, but yeah, did you hear this one? It's like we always competing with finding the best one. Right. And so, but like I said, like it's fusion, and it's a feel good to your soul type music. And it's the type of music that you really can dissect your entire relationship. You just put in a tape like, oh, that's about me. Right. Oh, that's what happened. It's therapy.
Right.
It's an honor to like be able to just talk to someone who's actually making a difference, who's impacting this music industry today in the now, and they're from home. Like, it don't get no better than that. Right. Like I said, people, oh, you look at this review, oh yeah, we're cousins. People must see. We can't. We really
Most definitely.
Oh, you do. All you do though, sir.
Huh?
You have some sunglasses?
Yeah. 2 years ago, I started. I wear a lot of sunglasses. I got a ton of sunglasses. So I wanted to start that business a while back, and then I was like, no, I ain't gonna do it, And then I was like, man, I'm just gonna go ahead and go for it. So I did it. I've been doing really well in it. Actually, some of the other artists like Calvin Richardson, LJ Eccles, Big Yayo, it's a lot of artists that's wearing my sunglasses. And I was just with an artist. He's doing some big things in Southern Soul now by the name of Young Guy. He has a song called Take Heed. And we was together this past weekend. He was like, man, I need my shades. He's like, I want to promote it. So it's just a blessing to have relationships with artists that's willing to help, push your brand and everything. So like I said, Calvin Richardson is like a family favorite of mine. My family loves him, and we've been good friends for like 13 years. So for him to be wearing my sunglasses on stages and stuff like that, promoting me, it's been a beautiful thing. So we're trying to keep that going. The name of it is Epic by JLake. It's EPIQUE by JLake.com. And we have a great selection on there, and we actually getting ready to launch some more sunglasses on there this week. Yes.
Yeah, I'm a sunglass chick. Like, I love me some good sunglasses, and
Right.
people don't really make quality sunglasses anymore. And
Right.
you buy them today, $20, $30, and then they
Right.
broke next week.
Right.
It's like, good.
Yeah, I
And
try
that
to get
art,
real particular on the styles that because I love like the heavy duty, sunglasses
Mhm.
that's gonna last for a while, and
Mhm.
so I try to be careful about the product that I put out, on my line. So yeah, I totally get it.
so
Yeah,
yeah,
so
I saw the sunglasses, and I was like, oh my god, like these are dope. Like, I went
Yeah.
on the website, but I had already heard about your sunglass line, but
Okay.
to see that it was something you put out, and it
Right.
just shows like you're just not one dimension. Like, you have different things that you're out there promoting and doing and building for yourself.
Right.
And I thought that was just really dope, because you never hear about a guy having a sunglass on.
Right.
Like, you don't hear it.
Well, I made the company broad. I wanted to make it a broad company, like Epic by JLake, because at some point, you never know, I might want to do his and her cologne or perfume or something like that, somewhere down the line. So it's Epic by.
You should.
Yeah. So it's Epic by JLake. That way I can just do some other things if I want to add to it,
I do love the name. I thought it was dope. I like the play on the words, the spelling, and all that. It was really dope. And you do have quality sunglasses. The reviews are there to prove it. People are rocking those shades. And it's not just if you're a celebrity. It's for people like me, just common, everyday, boring, empty nesters like the supporting shades. So would you say shades or picks? Like, you had to pick.
Say it again.
Would you say like, oh, I'm a sneakerhead, or oh no, I'm an eyeglass, I'm a shades man?
I gotta have both of them. Like I have like 2 closets like full of sneakers, and
wow,
I got so many sneakers that I forget that I have some. Like it's like I'm like, oh, I didn't know I had those. I forgot. You know what I'm saying? So I have, I have tons of sneakers. I have tons of sunglasses. I have to have sneakers. I'm a fashion guy, so I like clothes, sneakers, sunglasses. I'm not a huge jewelry person, but I do like a piece here and there, stuff like that. Yeah. But I do love to dress nice if I can, especially for shows and concerts and stuff like that.
Agreed.
Yeah. Your shoe game is tight. So I was like, I wonder which one is, because I've seen your sneaker game and it's always on point. Everything that I've seen, I'm like, oh man, like, okay. And you gotta be in fashion to rock the Michael Jackson red jacket. I was like, okay.
Yeah. I know I had the red jacket on, and I had ran into, I was on show with Avant. He was like, oh man, you got the Michael Jackson jacket on tonight.
Beat it. Like,
yeah. I try to have a little style for the big guys, try to bring a little style in, that type of thing. So
absolutely. The shoe, big brothers got a dress too. That's not a problem at all. But one thing that I really noticed, though, I mean, I do like the shades too. The one question on the shades: do you have the lens protection on there? Because each and every time I get a good pair of shades, sometimes somebody get a hold of my shades, my children, and they scratch up the lenses. Is there extra lens protection on there?
Yeah, well, my thing, it comes with the cloths, and actually, what I put it in like a case. The case is actually a cloth as well. So, but on the actual shades, it's like no protection or nothing like that. You just have to take care of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, because actually, I wish I had it. I wish I had it with me, but I actually have a box. I have a Soul Link music box that when I travel with like at least 5 pairs of shades, because I don't know which one I'm going to wear with a particular outfit. So
that makes sense.
5 pair. And then once I get my clothes on, in the hotel or wherever, then I'll try them all on to see which one I'm going to wear. So I try to be careful. It's like precious cargo. I try to be careful with my sunglasses, travel.
Absolutely. The question I had for you though was going to be dealing with your production. Like she was saying, you got a little bop to your thing like that. I mean, what really influenced your style? I mean, what really made your style come across? Was it not necessarily. I know a lot of gospel influences there because I can hear that in the melodies and in the way that you track out everything. But
Right.
as far as just the style, because that groove is a little unique. It's got a little bit of barcades, a little bit of, it's got a little bit of something else to it.
Yeah.
Kind of like a old school SOS band groove kind of thing.
Right.
What's your process when you actually start putting your stuff together?
Well, like I said, man, I'm a quartet head, straight from church. So when I started doing like most of like especially the Southern Soul genre, like on the R&B side,
Mhm.
I try to think 90s, like LSG,
Right. Right.
Keith Sweat, or the old school grooves. I try to think like what would people like to hear if it was an R&B record. So I give them a 90s feel. That's my reference for that. But like on the Southern Soul side, being that I'm from church, I try to think how can I merge church and Southern Soul and blues together. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
So
Gotcha.
a lot of my bass grooves may come from a quartet song, or it may come from an idea of a quartet song, and then I add extra textures to it. Take a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and add it together. So yeah, man, like I said, I tell people it don't matter what kind of music I do, I'm not gonna be able to take church out of it. You know what I'm saying? It's always gonna have
Absolutely.
somewhat of a churchy feel because that's what I've done my entire life. My mama's a gospel singer. My brother's a gospel singer. My uncle was a gospel singer. So I've been doing, gospel all of my life. And so I think that's what makes me different than most artists. And there's a lot of artists that came from church, like King George. A lot of people came from church. Everybody got their own style. But I think that's the unique thing about me is, I don't try to be like any other artist. I just want to make the music that I feel when I come in this room right here and feel like being creative. You know what I'm saying? So
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes,
no, I had to point that out though, because when she told me about you, and then when I really went back and I was just like, all right, let me kind of dig in a little bit here, kind of started putting my theory hat on. I'm just like, whoa, wait a minute here now. He got something.
Right.
He got something, and I was digging it. I was digging it because then certain inflections that you were doing, I'm just like, oh, okay, he a monster in the game. Okay,
Man.
All right, not a problem. I can tell you've been doing it for a while though.
Yeah, I tell people it take me a little longer because most artists are not producers. They're not songwriters. So most artists had to call up a producer and like, hey, I need a track. Then somebody send you a track. You start writing to it. Next thing you know, in the studio. But my process is different. Like. When I'm working on a song, I come up with a melody or something in the studio, and then I start, writing, to it. And so it's like my writing process and my production writing process is going together. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So every track is catered for the song that I'm writing, so it goes together. You see what I'm saying? I'm not just
right.
And it's a beautiful thing to be able to call somebody and get a track, but the track may not necessarily be for the song, or the song may not be for the track. But my process, every track is made for that particular song. So,
what I appreciate that, and what I appreciate about that the most is that's why I classify you as a real artist.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the gap, it took time to make a record.
Right.
If you notice, you can go back and put on a certain record. Every song is the joint. Every song is just lit.
Right.
They don't do that now.
Absolutely.
They just go and it's instant. It's instant. Everybody uses the same beats. Everybody uses the same drum kicks. Everybody uses the same sound because that's what's on the radio.
Right.
And it's too instant that, they drop in mixtapes and albums, in less than 2 months.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I understand that they're always in the studio, but no one's taking the time to do what you do and actually craft the record.
Right.
To make sure that everything is right about the record from beginning to the end. And then if you don't feel it, they're not gonna feel it.
Right. That's true.
So I definitely appreciate your production style. So I was very, very happy when she called and said, hey, we need to interview this guy. And when I sat back and listened, I was just like, yeah, it needs to happen.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
But leave it to my co-host though. She knows her stuff, so I can't complain.
I mean, life is a recycle bin. So everything good is coming back around. You just gotta, put the support behind it. Is how I feel. And, back in the day, the 99s, 2000s, life was really good. Music was about something.
Right.
And so, of course, we go through the phase of it being what it became, but it's turning that curve, I feel like. Good music is coming. And so that's why I'm a lyrics person. I'm a true vocal person. The beat's fine, but I hear that first. Even when the music's playing, I hear that first. If you can't sing, I know. Next. But piggybacking off of that, you write a lot. Do you write for other artists? Or do you let other artists write for you?
I haven't had anyone to write for me yet. Now I talk to a lot of artists that are songwriters, but I lately been writing. I'm not sure if y'all familiar, but LJ Eccles. He's a Southern Soul artist.
Heard the name.
Yeah, well, he's a major Southern Soul blues artist. So I write for him. I produce for him. I really just did his last single. Went out to Dallas and shot a video with him and everything. So he's doing really well. The song is blowing up, but I haven't written for like a A-list artist yet, and we're trying to get there. But yeah, I've written for a lot of people that's on the come up, songwriting, producing, and then I produce jingles as well. So I've done jingles for Nissan, Mazda, Kia,
nice.
A lot of dealerships and stuff like that. So yeah, man, I've been dipping and dabbing in a whole lot of stuff, and I also do artist development, not because I want to, not because it's nothing I'm advertising, but a lot of artists, they feel like, well, a lot of artists look up to me and they contact me like, man, how do I get this going? How do I get this? I got a guy now that just served a 20-year prison sentence, and I met him in the barbershop last week, and he sounds amazing. So he's been hitting me up trying to soak up the game because he's behind. Like, he's trying to figure out what he needs to do to get going, in the music bit. So a lot of people, they grasp to me to try to figure out, my strategy or what I should feel about this, and they trust me. And I really appreciate that because I'm 38. I'll be 38 in August, so I'm still a young man. But I've been in the music business a long time, and I'm still learning myself, But it's always an honor for major artists to call me and be like, hey, man, I love what you're doing. I love how you did that. And they way far longer than I am, Like, I do a lot of work for Calvin Richardson. I do a lot of marketing stuff, back behind the scenes stuff for Calvin Richardson, and a lot. So I don't speak about everything I do, but I have my hands in a lot.
Impressive. I mean, I can see that because you have that foundation, and now you have your experience to go on top of that foundation. So I can see why you would be at the forefront of like that big brother role where age really doesn't matter. It's your character and your professionalism, and then you're a true artist. So people want that blueprint because they want that same recognition. They want that same, to me, when you're doing it the way that you're doing it and it's been received the way that it is, it's like I said, I'm just real country, so I'm going to say it's just like when you put it in a crock pot, give it 8 hours. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to wait. So it's like, I know it's got to be a great feeling to have that. Hence to why I could see why you are a Grammy member. So what is that like? Like, can you give us a little bit, like, are you voting? Do you put a name in the bucket? You pulling out the names?
Yeah. Actually, last year they had a ceremony, and I went, but I was just going just to join one of my friends. You know what I'm saying? He had became a Grammy member. So he wanted me to just go with him and hang out. So I went there and I was making connections and stuff, not knowing the whole time they was trying to get me set up to be a part of the next class, the next membership.
Wow.
So you have to be referred. You have to have credentials, and to get in. And so I did all the properness, things I had to do, like the application and all that kind of stuff. And then I was just sitting on my computer last week, minding my business, and I get an email saying, hey, you have been accepted. You are now a Recording Academy Grammy member now. So yeah, so I do have some some ceremonies to go to get some more, informed on a lot of stuff. But yeah, we'll be a part of the voting process. I'm planning on going to the Grammys next year in February to be a part of it. So yeah, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing.
That's so dope.
Yeah. Yeah. And networking is a big thing, it's a big part of it,
Huge.
Yeah. So that's the main, reason why I want to be a part of it, just because, like I said, when you're working with Grammy people that's won Grammys that you can touch, you can call up, you know what I'm saying? They might be working on a movie. You may can slide a little work in on it. You know what I'm saying? You never know. So exactly. So it's a great situation for me. So
and you're a voice for them not to sleep on soul music. Like you're that caveat that's like, no, we're here and we're not going anywhere.
Right.
And they need that. You need that. Like you really do. And what a great seat to have to be that spokesperson, because you do have the city on your back.
Right.
You know, like
right.
like, guys, you know, and that's very humbling to know that you're doing something more than just being the artist. You're acting as a protector of what the music genre of the artists that may want to dip in that side a little bit to collab with people. Like you keep it open, you're keeping it in the forefront of people's minds.
Absolutely.
So would you say, by being in this role, are you signed to like a record label? Is it your record label? Like,
yeah, I'm signed. I'm signed to my own label, JLake Music LLC. I had an artist on my label by the name of Big Baby. She was really major in Memphis and in the area. People would travel near and far to see her perform. She was amazing, and but she passed like 3 years ago. So a lot of people been, they was like, oh, we want to sign to you. We want to be a part of what you got going on. But it's just been really difficult right now, bringing in other artists. So I just decided for the moment to focus on myself and just get myself to where I need to be. And then possibly, sign. And then really, and another thing too, I'm in the process of trying to build a team, really build a team around me and get everything. Actually, it's funny that we talking and I'm getting to know you and having a conversation with you because you seem like a nice person to be working with. So we might have to talk, about some things, about you coming in and helping me out. So that'll be great.
Oh, well, Warren, I know you better not have said nothing, radio.
I wasn't gonna say a word. I'm just chilling. But that was the main thing, and you hit on every note that I was gonna say it, because I was just like, I've dealt with artists before, and if you don't have a team, it's pointless.
Right.
Because they think that they know what they want to do, and then they think that they sound a certain way, and then if you ain't got the right people in place to be like, you sound like trash, shut up, let's get this done right.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
If you don't have that structure right there, you don't have a solid engineer, you don't have somebody that's actually doing what you're doing as far as artist development.
Right.
Know how to talk in front of the press. Know how to give an interview. Don't just go out there, I really like singing. It's really so much fun. You just can't go out there just sounding like, jump jilly. You just can't do it. You got to really come with it,
Well, when I meet people, they always think that I have like a big team, and they was like, how you doing all this stuff, and how you doing it? And I, man, I do all of it, most of it myself. Like when I go out and do shows, my lady or my mom or something may go and sell T-shirts and CDs and stuff like that. But just the business part of it, like the business, the music, I've been doing all of it myself. Like I've done management before, but the management thing at that time, which that was several years ago, it didn't work out. So I was like, I was still doing everything. You see what I'm saying? So I'm like, well, I might as well just be by myself. You know what I'm saying? So I take my own bookings, man. I answer my own phones. And a lot of times promoters tell me, they was like, man, you got to stop answering your phone. You know what I'm saying? Like, you need somebody else to answer the phone for you. But You know, I answer my
When I
phone.
do have a page called Everybody Needs a Monica. It's not just there for
Yeah, she does. But now, in a way, to a certain degree, they have a point because
Right.
of you being an artist, you have an image. So
Right.
now that this image is set in their mind, they don't expect for someone that's doing the quote unquote peon work to answer their own phone. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? That just
Right.
that blows their mind and it throws their image off, and they don't know what to
Right.
do with that.
Right.
So
I respect that though, because it's like you know what's going on, and it sets a precedence. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Mhm.
for me, I appreciate stuff like that because I have had to do a lot of different hats in my day, and I get really close with the people that I've worked with, and so you know, I'm always telling them like, you need to know what the right hand and left hand need. They need to know what's going on.
Right.
So when
Mhm.
people kind of get like, oh, why are you answering your own phone? Well, why shouldn't I be answering your phone?
Right.
That's
Well,
always my mindset.
even if I had management, I still would like, you know, like it's still
Yeah.
my company. I still want to know everything that's going on. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know, I would like to know
I
everything.
like Ron.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
that's the biggest thing. But you know, like I said, we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. Like I said, it's been a blessing. Like I said, my whole music career, I've been with everybody you can think of on stage.
Mhm.
But I got there by answering my own phone. You know what I'm saying? But
That part.
but I still, you know, like I said, man, I really would love to have a strong team, you know, to build up with, because you never know. Like, you know, you might have an idea, you might think of something that I didn't think of. I can't be in the studio writing, producing, singing, engineering, and coming up with all of the other strategies as well. You know, you're gonna miss something trying to do everything. You know what I'm saying?
Trying to do the work of 20 men. You can't
Right.
do it. You
Right.
can't do it. Trust me.
Right.
I've been
Yeah,
there.
I definitely tell people, you know, you can want to give 100%, but you cannot give 100. You can't split that 100% up between 5 things and say that you're giving 100%.
Right.
Yep.
So a strong team is very much needed. And yeah, you have my number. We'll talk.
Yeah.
But so I got some fire questions, and I'll ask you. Just whatever comes to your mind, like just say it.
Okay.
What's your favorite food?
Hot wings. I don't
Really?
need it. I don't need it, but yeah, steak and hot wings, I can eat that every day.
Favorite color?
Favorite color, black.
Favorite artist?
Favorite artist. I like artists that produce and write as well, so I would say Babyface.
Oh yeah.
I'm so like, okay, so I'm just like, I would have been like me. That's just it. Favorite holiday?
Favorite holiday, Christmas.
Favorite movie?
Favorite movie. I would say 5 Heartbeats.
Yeah. Yeah. My office hours between 9 and 5.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking
And
about.
then the favorite song, like your personal favorite song that you have written and performed yourself.
My favorite song would be Paint a Picture. And like I said, it came out in 2007, but that particular song is the reason why I'm here now. It started everything. I recorded previous songs before that, but that particular song got me on stages. So that song will always be my baby. So I've been singing it. I've started back singing it now, and people are like, oh, where did that come from? But I was like, man, that's one of my favorite.
See, they not no real friends because I remember when it played on 90s Kicks 96.
Yeah. So yeah, that's where it started at. It started on 96 Kicks, you know, and they was playing it, and then they was like, oh, okay, we're gonna see how it go. We're gonna give you 6 weeks. If it does well, we're gonna keep it on. So people was requesting it,
Mm-hmm.
and here we are today. You know, and then I had music also on like the Steve Harvey morning show, Cheryl Underwood show. So the music has been on our Heart Radio, different places. So yeah. So just think about a team. Just think about having a effective team, how far you can go with doing things by yourself and doing some great things by yourself and building a team and being able to go bigger, you know?
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. Because I definitely could see you. Honestly, I could see you in a movie.
Yeah, I did a
Your
movie. I was
music
just in a
should
movie.
be.
I was just in a movie.
See, and
Yeah,
I would watch it. I can see that. I could see you doing commercials like your music, and then just the way that you are music, you know. And
right,
so it hits differently when you listen to it. Like you can tell the artists that are, they're singing and they're just like they can be led any kind of way. You are
Mhm.
like plant solid, like you know where you are, you know where you started, you know your foundation, and so that allows you to go anywhere that you want to.
right.
And so to see that, so that's
Absolutely.
that genuine type of thing that you see, like that's something you feel. That's an experience of like energy, not
Right.
just talent.
Right.
So and you have all that. So that's pretty. That's dope. So what is the movie? Can you tell us what the movie is about?
The movie is called Betray, and it's on Tubi, Amazon Prime, and it's doing well. It was like number 2 on Tubi for like weeks, and I performed 2 of my songs in that movie. One of the songs is
Out
called.
Okay.
list now, and I have not watched it.
You gotta watch it.
I'm gonna watch it today.
Called Betray. Yeah, it's a great movie. I performed.
Okay.
I performed a nightclub scene in the movie. I performed my song "Do Right" and also my song "Part Time Lover" in that movie. And I've been getting calls from L.A., South Carolina, Louisiana. Everybody like, hey, I saw you in the movie. So it's been moving around. It's been circulating around.
That's good.
Do you see yourself doing more movies?
I mean, yeah, now because like I was coming from a show. I had a show in Little Rock, Arkansas with Sir Charles. It was like King George. And my homeboy hit me up, was like, hey man, I need you to come and do a couple scenes in my movie. I need you to perform. And I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna go through and help my boy out. And I did that. And next thing you know, the movie came out, and the movie blew up. Like everybody on Facebook was talking about it. People across the world knew about it. It was number 2 on Tubi for a long time. And if you go to Tubi right now, it probably pop up, as one of the popular
It is.
movies.
It's on my list. On
Yeah,
my recommended.
yeah. So that made me, want to act a little more. Actually, in the movie, I was doing what was natural to me, and that's just singing. That's what I was doing. I was doing the performance scene in the movie. So, and it helped my numbers go up on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? So people started
I bet
Googling.
it did.
Yeah, people want to know, like, okay, is this a real song? We finna go look it up. And the numbers shot up on YouTube just by the movie. So that's been amazing.
Oh, that is so cool. Like, yeah, I can really see you. What type of movie genre would you say that you would just be like, this is my thing? Like, are you a drama guy, comedy?
I honestly would be into. I would really like to be into some comedy stuff. Yeah. I'm not, because I mean, I'm a quiet guy. I'm real laid back, but I do like to joke and crack jokes and stuff a little bit. So I think a comedy movie would be really nice, or a love story would be nice as well.
I could see you in a comedy movie because you are a very laid back person. Like you can tell your whole vibe. Like I said, you are your music, and your music is you. Like
Right.
it's just fit. Like I really probably uncomfortable doing other things because that's just who you are.
Right.
So I definitely see you doing a comedy movie. It would be funny to see you kind of be like, it will to everyone else, and even maybe to people that know you, to see you kind of stepping out of the box of this laid back person and doing something funny. Like
absolutely,
that's you have to laugh at yourself. So
absolutely,
I laugh at myself. I'm forever doing something goofy all the time.
That's it.
So is there like an artist, let's say in past, they could be not here anymore or they could be present, that you would have loved to work with or that you would love to work with?
Honestly, I would love to work with R. Kelly. R. Kelly is another one of my favorites. Like I said, I love a lot of artists, but I really have a strong love for artists that actually write and produce and do what I do. So it's people like PJ Morton. He's from Louisiana. PJ Morton.
I know PJ.
Yeah, PJ, R. Kelly, Brian McKnight, man, it's a lot of it. Dream, y'all know about? I know y'all know heard of the Dream. Yeah, like those guys are artists, songwriters, producers. Like the whole process, the whole the gumbo, that pot he was talking about. So I enjoy those type of artists. Rico Love, like I enjoy those type of artists that does it all. So yeah, so absolutely.
So what do you feel like the music right now?
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like it's like just a slow death watching it? Or like do you see like people are really coming around and just trying different things like Beyonce with the country record? I don't know why people are so shocked because that's us, like that's it. Or do you feel like, it's either secular or gospel, but people now are merging them as far as like rap and gospel music, and it's really becoming big?
Right.
Do you think it's just fly by nights, or do you think the music business is getting the old school feel good?
That's a great question. I feel like it's some great music out there. I have friends that's making great music, but I feel like a lot of people is just trying to do whatever to make it right now. It's just like, it's whatever I gotta do to make it. For example, I was doing R&B. I didn't want to touch blues and Southern Soul. I kept saying no to it. And my brother was a fan of Southern Soul, so he was like, "Man, but this was before everybody started running to Southern Soul." And my brother was like, "Man, just do one song and see how it go." I was like, "Nah, man, I don't want to do it. I don't want." He kept begging me for years, so I did a record called Party just to satisfy him, not knowing that song was gonna be the song that got me booked. So when I put the song out, I was nervous because I'm like, this ain't the type of music that I normally put out. But when it came out, I started getting booked every weekend. At that time. Wow. I was getting booked every weekend, and it was just amazing. So I was like, wow, if I knew that, I would have been doing it a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? I should have been doing that kind of music.
Oh.
Yeah, but so yeah, you asking about Fly By Nights. It's a lot of people that's just taking a chance. Everybody's trying to crowd into Southern Soul right now because they feel like it's easy, but it's still gatekeepers in Southern Soul, whether you know it or not. They still limit on who they rocking with and who they not rocking with. So
yeah.
So I always just try to be.
It's not a lot of artists that are identifying as Southern Soul, but you do see people, and I've seen this a lot because I am a music junkie. I feel like my entire life in my head is a musical. I feel like people, when they think they can't make it in R&B and things like that, they try to run the gospel really fast. And gospel music is very accepting of everybody. Like, okay. Like for me, sorry, like, PK kids, and if it's in your bloodline, you just like, this ain't what you, no.
Yeah.
But do it. And do you feel like maybe the Christian genre is too accepting of that, and people come there, they make their money, they get some fans, and then they may try and hop back out and pop, or you know what I'm saying, like they try to go back to what they originally came in with, trying to bring that over.
A lot of them do that, but a lot of them still don't make it around. Like what's the lady name from not SWB, Escape? Scott or something like that. Yeah, she's done. Yeah, she's done, and no shade to her, but she's done some gospel music. But she's haven't been getting the traction that she would like, in doing that. So sometimes your lane is your lane, and sometimes you have to stay in that because trying stuff all the time just may not work for you. So I don't think it's a great idea for everybody to try to do that, because they just not. It just don't work out sometimes. You know what I'm saying? You have to be careful. And it depends on who it is.
Yeah, I definitely don't think it's working out for her.
Yeah. It depends on who it is too. Like KC. Like KC from KC and JoJo. He's working on gospel music. But that's where he started. He already was a gospel sensation before he went to R&B. So it'll work for him. Right. So it just depends on who it is, and if you if you
Also
real
has that grit
R&B,
too. You know what I mean?
yeah, if you real R&B-ish, and then you go do a gospel album, you still sound like R&B. Is like, you know, gotta be
Well,
careful.
I see what she was going with the question, because see, my thing is, it's like you have an artist that'll go out there and actually try it, and then it doesn't work. And to save themselves within the black community, as it was, they gonna
Right.
run the gospel.
Right.
Just so that way they can still have some type of grace and this, that, and the other. Oh, well, she's singing for the Lord now, so let's
Right.
give her a chance.
Right.
And we have a tendency to be real forgiving.
Right.
You know, let's just say before R. Kelly had went down, but even though he went down for other reasons, let's just say if R. Kelly had dropped a gospel record, they would have forgave everything that he so say had done.
Right.
That
Right.
was
Right.
wrong. You know, before he actually went down. But, you know, he really didn't do that. He just kind of stayed in his lane and kept doing his thing. And then, you know, they got him. But otherwise, no, I think the community is way too forgiving on artists that actually go from what they are to what they're trying to be. I don't dig it.
I got you.
Personally.
How do you feel about like, are you gonna go like on a tour, or are you just really gonna kind of like just take bookings, the ones that you decide to take or whatever? Are you like planning a tour? Because you're definitely tour material.
Yeah, well, I haven't been planning. Actually, what I'm working on right now is possibly doing an album and try to do like a tour with the album, just to move around. And you know how they do book signings and everything, you know, move around and do book signings. That's kind of what I'm planning on possibly doing. And that's because a part of the Grammy, you know, to be nominated for a Grammy, you have to have an album out. So I just been releasing singles, you know. I've been releasing a lot of singles. I haven't been putting out albums lately. So I'm going to prepare an album so I can submit an album next year for a Grammy consideration. And then possibly do a tour. Yeah.
Are we going to sneak, like, if you do an album, like, you got to have an album release party. And you got to have completely up there.
Yeah. You got to do that. See, and I used to host a lot of shows in Jackson, Tennessee. I used to promote shows for 7 years, and it was amazing. I just been a little nervous. Like, I've been thinking about getting back in the game and doing it again, but I just been a little nervous about putting on events. But of course, though, if I drop an album or something, I'm definitely doing an album release party.
I got a feeling you know my cousin. His name is Frank McCary.
Who's that?
Frank McCary?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. I know. Okay. Yeah. I've been knowing him for years.
Yeah, we actually we're gonna interview him. So yeah, that's my cousin.
Okay.
So you know, like, so when you talk about the promoting part, like, his name just instantly popped in my head, because without you guys bringing that back here, you know, like, it wouldn't. There's nothing here.
Yeah, right. I know. Tell me about it. I know.
Just the opportunity. That's it.
Right.
Right. It's needed. You know, a lot of people back home, they love the arts. Like, they really do. They appreciate music and plays and movies and things like that.
Right.
Just, in these areas, it's not a lot. I think they still have the cart and buggy type mentality.
Right.
But it's all young people here as well. Right. And they appreciate things like that being brought back. So I appreciate it. Like, yeah, just bring it on. Get back in. But you got to make the album too. So you busy. You're busy. It's only one of you.
Oh, good.
So do you still get asked to do like an A&B selection at church?
That's funny you asked that. I got asked to do an A&B selection twice this weekend. I was in church all day Sunday, and they was like, "Oh man," the first church I was in Humboldt actually. They was like, "Hey, today would have been a good day for you to sing." You know what I'm saying? Then I went to Bolivar to my home church to visit, and they asked me to sing. Then I didn't sing because I would like to be, prepared. But yeah, I still get asked to sing at church. Absolutely. Yes, ma'am.
I was like, I'm gonna ask him this, and he probably gonna be like,
yeah.
oh.
I said I better prepare a song so next time I go, they be like, oh, we need you to sing, and I'll be ready.
You just could have put out an old hymn.
Yeah, something.
You're fine.
Something. Yes, ma'am.
So in this space in your life right now, you're very busy. You're doing a lot of great things. A lot of big things are definitely getting ready to just flood you because, like I said, you're this. Even though it's been around, you're this time's pioneer for soul music, and it's a great place to be. But it's a lot of pressure.
Right.
Where are you, like, family? Like, are you going to take time out for like all of that and just be like, you know what, I'm just going to be behind the scenes? Or do you have like a roadmap? Are you giving yourself like 10 years or 5 years from now? Like, where do you see yourself at 5 years?
Well, 5 years, in 5 years, I plan to be in a situation where I do have artists on my label in 5 years. I know within 5 years, I've been and moved a lot farther and be in a better position where I could benefit other artists, by signing them, So so it's a direction that I'm wanting to go into with my company, JLake. Like right now, we just been focusing on like production, you know what I'm saying, sunglasses and stuff like that. But I'm trying to get to a point where I'm able to sign artists. Actually, I'm interested now in possibly doing a talent show soon, and do like a single deal, for artists, and bring in some of my, artist friends to come in and judge and and things like that. It's some more things I want to do outside of the studio.
That's dope. Good old Eddie Kane. You're giving me Eddie Kane vibes. Eddie Kane Jr.
Yeah.
You giving me those vibes. And so a talent show would be they used to have them back in the day. I remember as a kid having to pageants and talent shows, and it was just like, I hate this because.
Right.
Oh my God.
I used to be a lot of talent shows coming up, and I used to make music, and I used to take my music to these. I used to walk in beauty salons and barbershops in the mall and just pass out my music, just like, and drop them off in the stores and stuff, just so people can have it.
That's what people do. Like here, like my dad had his own salon. So we had mixtapes for days. $5 mixtapes.
Right. $5.
$5 mixtapes. And it was just
that was the number. $5.
Yeah, $5. Because everybody got it. You say 7, they look at you like,
right.
5.
Right.
So yeah, like that would be, and that is so helpful. Not only for your business, but it is giving back to the community. It is giving some people that necessarily wouldn't have that opportunity, an opportunity. But the thing about it in this area, what I love about us is, you'll get the whole Sandman Apollo, don't you? You're like, yeah, baby, starting to try to come back.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, that is a smart, ingenious way to grow your company, as well as shed the light on, like, don't sleep on consistency. There's a lot of good stuff here to offer. And for you to take that role and say, well, you know what, I'm going to shine a light on it, that is very impressive and needed.
Right.
So on behalf of everybody that hadn't got signed yet, I'm going to say thank you for them. And they can thank me later. That is dope.
Yeah.
That's so much fun. Like, oh God.
Yes,
it's not like seeing someone win something that they wanted their whole life.
Mm-hmm.
And you having the opportunity to give that back. That's dope.
Yes, we're gonna do that. Definitely gonna do it.
What would you want to leave everybody with? Like, do you have some big stuff coming in a plan within the next, before 2025, that you want everybody to be on the lookout for? Or
yeah, currently I have several shows coming up. This weekend I'll be in Memphis, Tennessee at the Mud Islands Amphitheater. That's July 6th here in Memphis, Tennessee. July 20th, I'll be in Forest City, Arkansas at the Civic Center with TK Soul. And I'm headed over to Paducah, Kentucky in August. I got a lot of shows coming up. So, but yeah, I'm in the studio. I do have my latest single is called BBL. It's out now. All digital outlets. It's doing really well. And I'm going to stay in the studio and, keep working on these jingles and everything. And I'm, like I said, I need to try to get this album together right now for next year. I want to put out a great album. So we getting started on that. It seems like every time I try to get started and busy, though, another artist calling like, hey, man, I need some production or I need a song. So I had to put my stuff down and then get on their stuff. But, I got to get focused and get my album out.
Yeah, you got Grammys to be on. Like
Absolutely.
you're like, look, y'all, you want me to like get your name in there?
Right.
Do what I got to do.
Absolutely. That's true. That's true.
Fascinating. Is you really do, and I think when people see the Grammy next to your name, they just like, oh, and it's like you got the process, and it's like I can't keep talking about the process.
Right. Right. It's true.
It's a process to it.
It's true. I mean,
I can get you there when I get there.
Yeah, since I've been a member, and this only been a week now, people been hitting me up like, how do I get in? How do I get in? But it's not that easy. It's a process. Like even if I recommended somebody right now, it'll be a whole year before you can get in. You know what I'm saying? Right. But they do want to see credentials. They want to know what kind of work you've been doing. You know what I'm saying? So I got in based on my songwriting. You know what I'm saying? Like the production and stuff that I've done for other artists and other, like those marketing companies, like the dealerships and stuff like that. That was a big help, So yeah, and then I've been with a lot of artists and stuff. So they look at all of that and they put it all together and they look at who referred you and all that kind of stuff too. So yeah, but I'm in there.
You sharing this road to that is very helpful because image does matter. Like you can't just be out smiling and thinking that you could get, have a seat somewhere in a room where you didn't know your name has been mentioned. So to have that knowledge of it is very needed. And the fact that you're sharing it shows that you really are serious about where you are and bringing, other artists and keeping that light shined on it. And that's the artist development that you have. I did like that is definitely needed. So I see you being the next Clive Davis.
Hey, that's where I'm trying to head to. Exactly where I'm headed to. Yes, ma'am. Right. We're gonna remember we had this conversation.
We are, and it's recorded. So I spoke this into existence back in 2024.
Yeah.
On this podcast show.
I love it.
But you have definitely, like I said, you have opened up a whole nother lane of music for me. And it's funny that I thought I was having a lane by myself, but even my kids are there. So
Okay.
They all like bumping to the same thing. It's very impressive.
Tell them I appreciate it. I appreciate it. It's funny.
Definitely.
I people sent me videos of babies, dancing to my music and grooving to my music. So, yeah, I mean, it's music for everybody. Kids, babies, older people. It's for everybody,
Baby makers.
Right.
Then they had the babies to be dancing to the song.
Yep. Absolutely.
It's very impressive. I'm so grateful that you sat down with us and just laid back as you are. You're very open and you give a face to the music. People hear the music, they think they know you. They may feel not really knowing who you are, but when you do interviews like this and you just have a conversation, it adds a little bit more to what you're doing. Right. And I'm glad that you really did sit down. I appreciate you sitting down with us because I believe in you. I love your music. And so just watching how you move and learning more about you, is definitely something I will always promote, stand behind. You're a genuine person all the way through. And so it shows in your music. Your music shows through who you are. So I know it's not just somebody like, oh, let's just throw these lyrics together.
Right.
You have this, and that's good music.
Yeah.
That's a beat type music.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I definitely try to make sure I make music that people can feel and people can understand and relate to, you know. And that's my biggest thing. That's my motto. I say, soul link music where real music lives. You know what I'm saying? I want it to be people really can feel what I'm talking about. Whether it's a party song or it's I messed up or I'm in love, whatever it is, you know, I want people to be able to feel it and get a great love for my music. Absolutely.
That's dope. Like, they definitely feel it because, like I said, seeing it in person as well, the way that people were they were singing your lyrics, and I was like, that is crazy. Like, every song, it wasn't just a couple of words and then you know how we do it, we just start adding words or whatever. They were singing lyric for lyric. They knew the song. They were rocking with you. They were supporting you through it, and it was very impressive to watch. Although I was back there, you know, by the hill.
Yeah,
but it was impressive.
Well, hey, we ain't gonna let that happen again. We're gonna make sure you up at the front of the room.
I did see the people in the front. They was not playing. Okay, yeah, they was having tease. I was like, baby, this is real.
Right.
But it's a God. But it was just everybody was having a good time.
Absolutely.
You don't see that anymore. But to see us together, and we were all genuinely having a really good time. Good music. You know, it was some really good food around there.
Right.
But it was just to feel that when you are a music person, it's just like, this is good. Right. And so yeah, like I sat there the entire night and we had a really good time. We had an amazing time listening to everything and just seeing. I just love people watching sometimes and just seeing people really it's like a family reunion.
Right. Absolutely. Exactly how it feels.
That's what it was, and it was awesome. But I've seen you know, doing the intimate parties and things like that, and it's like your character and your professionalism is the same. It doesn't matter if you're outside or inside of a building. Like it did not change.
Right.
And so that for me was like really big because I've seen people like they kind of, you know, they get five people in the front screaming their name. You can't talk to them.
Right.
you have like 500 people and you're still like, yeah, what's up?
Yeah.
So that's very needed and refreshing.
Absolutely. I appreciate that.
You know, like I am like the wrong like my face feel everything and I just start, I don't know, like he cracks me up and I can't help it. Like I gotta practice early, but I can't help it. But we're not gonna hold you. It has been like really an honor to definitely sit down with you and talk to you. And yeah, like I'm a fan, so that's why I was like, we gotta interview him. Like, dude, before he's ready, but before he gets like way big, I gotta ask. Like,
it means a
like,
lot.
What do you know?
It means a lot. Anytime I run into somebody and they say they love the music, it's always truly a blessing to me. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, people don't have to be interested into your music. You know what I'm saying? So I really appreciate that. So it's no little thing to me. It's big. So I appreciate that.
Well, I'm just impressed. Like I said, I'm a huge fan, and I told him, I was like, oh my God, I'm not gonna try to be fan. I'm not gonna be fan, and he was like, yeah, you are.
No, good. It's all good.
But we appreciate your time. We appreciate you coming on here and speaking with us. And like I said, like we will always promote your music. We'll definitely, if you want to send us like your shows and things like that, we'll definitely throw it up. You've got support here. And we're from home, so you get that on time support.
Thank you for having me. Thank you all for having me.
You too. And you have a great rest of the day. Stay blessed, and I'll be seeing you around. And so, yeah, hopefully our paths didn't cross for no reason. So that's I'm a firm believer in that.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. All right.
Thank you, and you have a good day.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to the Completely Yoked podcast. with Little Bit Bougie and Mr. Radio 100.